Pod English Intermediate 50. Life Story. In this lesson, we're going to look at how to talk about plans for our lives by combining two ideas in one sentence.
See, I'd always planned to retire as soon as I had enough money. Because it's not cheap, you know, retirement. You still got to get 3 meals a day, put a roof over your head. But actually, see, I have all that now, but I don't pay anything for it.
To do this, we can use special time expressions like when, as soon as, before, and after, and until, like in these sentences. As soon as I turn 60, I want to retire. When I finish school, I want to travel around the world.
So anyway, that's what I thought before, but now I think this is quite a good idea. 3 square meals, a roof over my head, and it doesn't cost me a penny.
It's time for the movie now.
Nick, Laura and I are going to play cards on Saturday. Why don't you come with us? Do you have any plans for the weekend?
Yeah, I do actually. I'm visiting my friend Joe in Florida. He moved into a retirement home in Miami. You know Joe, don't you?
Yeah, I know Joe. When did he retire? Isn't he still young?
He retired as soon as he turned 50.
Wow, he must feel older than he is. I'm not going to retire until I have to. When do you think you'll retire?
As soon as I make enough money. I want to retire when I'm still active. I want to make the most out of my life and maybe travel around the world someday. What about you? What do you think you'll do when you retire?
I don't know. Maybe I'll go back to school. I'd like to learn another language. I'll tell you what I won't do. I won't go to a retirement home.
Really? Why not?
I want to be independent. I don't want someone else cooking for me, cleaning for me, worrying about me. I can take care of myself.
Do you think so? I want to be active, but when I'm really old, I might move into a retirement home. They have benefits. They are relaxing and comfortable.
Yes, they're too relaxing and too comfortable. I wouldn't know what to do with all that time.
So it's funny really, because my family have always worked very hard. See, my dad, he's 70 now, and he's still not retired.
Let's look at how Nick and Arid use conjunctions to connect two actions. Some examples of conjunctions are as soon as, when, after, before, until. Can you remember when Nick's friend Joe retired? Joe retired as soon as he turned 50. Nick uses the conjunction as soon as to connect the two actions.
My brother, well, he moved to South America. I'm not quite sure why, but he seems to be retired over there. Anyway, he says he doesn't want to come back, or can't come back, I think he might have said. I don't know.
Arid and Nick use two actions in one sentence many times. Let's look at what they say. Nick says, I want to retire when I'm still young. And what about Arid? Arid says, maybe I'll go back to school after I stop working. We can use words like when and after to combine two actions in a sentence. Let's listen again to how Nick and Aelred use these words.
I want to retire when I'm still active. I want to make the most out of my life and maybe travel around the world someday. What about you? What do you think you'll do when you retire?
I don't know. Maybe I'll go back to school.
Let's look at more examples. I will come home as soon as the movie finishes. I won't retire until I'm 65. I want to meet Joe when he comes to town.
My mum's still working as well. She must be, 65 now? She's still not retired. She likes to work.
Now you try. Fill in the blanks with a conjunction. Nick will retire as soon as he has enough money. Can you fill in the blank here? Aelred wants to study after he retires. And here? What does Nick want to do when he retires? Try this one. I won't retire until I'm 65.
See, the trick is, for a good retirement, I have one rule. Forget about your pensions and your banks and your savings. There's a simple and easy way to early retirement. Just go nick a car.
Well done. In today's lesson, we've discussed how to talk about plans for our lives. We've looked at using time expressions or conjunctions to combine two actions in a sentence. We used when, as soon as, before, after, and until. As soon as I retire, I'm going to travel around the world. After I finish university, I'm going to get a job.
That's right, borrow a car, as they say. Yes, make sure you get caught and make sure you end up here. Because this one's alright, this prison. Not too bad at all.
See you next